Hi everyone, Nick here, and this is video number 3 in our series of how to make a line chart showing attendance over time for your museum. So just to give you a reminder, this is what our finished product is going to end up like, or at least this is what your finished product could look like after you follow some of the tips in this video and our final video coming up. So I'm going to go back over here to our Excel file, and I'm just going to walk through as I sort of update this chart with sort of best practice in data viz design edits and revisions here. So the first thing I'm going to do is highlight the chart. Excel always gives a border around the chart by default, and I hate that. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. So just highlight it over here in the Format Chart Area menu. We're going to click on Border and say No Line. So now we don't have a line around that border. It's going to look great when you paste it into your report or your slide or something like that. A chart title, I'm probably going to make this over in PowerPoint anyway, but you could do all of it in Excel, and I'll show you how to do that here. So with your chart title, never have it centered. It's always center aligned by default in Excel, and they really should make it left aligned. So keep your titles left aligned all the time. You rarely ever want center aligned text. It's really difficult for eyes to read that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say descriptive title will go here. So on your end, you can go ahead and update this. Should be 6 to 12 words. You can have a subtitle too, as I had in the other chart that I showed you in PowerPoint over there. So I'm just going to keep that there for now. Then you can see our years down here. I want to update these. I don't think we need to show every single year from 2000 all the way to 2021. You know, if you're a reader, you get this. If I'm gonna, I think it's probably just enough. It could be just enough to show the starting year and the final year, but I know that there's probably a few years that I want to highlight from my chart before. So what I'm actually going to do is what I could do is just highlight all of the years that I don't want to use, right click and click Clear Contents. And now you can see that I have no years along my x-axis except for 2000 and 2021. Now, if you have a lot of years, it can get a little challenging to remember which one is which. So I'm going to go ahead and click Undo. We're going to get those years back. And here's a little trick that I like to do when I have a chart that's like this. I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert for a new column here. It doesn't do anything to my data. This is purely for my own reference. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this, Control-C and Control-V to copy and paste. Now I'm going to keep this here just for my reference so that I know which year is which. But I do want pretty much everything to be gone from that chart. So I'm just going to make sure that the starting year and ending year are there in the chart. But there are a few years that I want to highlight. So remember, yours is going to be different based on the data that you have. But I know that in 2010 I wanted to highlight that year. So I'm going to go ahead and type 2010 here to make sure that shows up on the x-axis. And then I want to show the last 3 years, 2019, 2020, and 2021. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that because that's my highest attendance year. 2020, that was my lowest, and then my final year there, 2021. Now, of course, Excel will give you these little error carrots. You don't have to do anything with those, but if you want to get rid of them, you can always just click on that and say ignore the error. Excel has a bunch of errors that sometimes pop up, but are not actually errors in the way that we're using them. All right, so let's see. What else can I do? I want to change the color of this line, so I'm going to highlight this line, and I'm going to go over to the Format Data Series. I'm going to go to the Paint bucket and make sure the line is selected here. It's defaulted to this teal color on my palette, but I want it to be this blue. So let's keep that. And since I know that I wanted to highlight these years, I'm actually going to go ahead and add some data markers. So let's do that here. So 2021 or 2010 right here. If you double click and just highlight so only that marker, that point on the line is selected, go over to the Format Data Point menu, go to the Paint bucket, make sure to click on Marker, and right now we have no markers on the line, but I'm going to create one. So I'm going to click on the marker drop down, click on Built-in, and make sure it's the circle, and then you can update the line or the marker size. So I'm going to go to, let's say, 10 points, and then let's update it to the same fill color, solid blue, and a little design tip I like. You could keep it like this if you wanted to, but I like to make a white border around my markers, especially if I'm highlighting specific markers. So click on solid line and then make that white. Perfect. Now I might actually go ahead and insert a data label here. So go ahead, add data label. And when you click on that data label, you can go to the Format Data Label tab, the bar chart icon, and you can play with the positioning. So right now it's over to the right, and that's what it will default, but the line is there. So I want it to be above. So I'm going to go and click above, and there's that. I'm going to go ahead and edit the color of that text right there, and maybe increase the size to, let's say, 12 points. Perfect. All right, so there's my first label there. And then I want to do the exact same thing to these last 3 data points, because those are the ones that I want to highlight. So I'm going to go ahead, remember, double click to isolate just one data point. Go over here to the Format Data Point Label menu, or the formatting menu. Go to Marker. Make sure the fill. Oh, I got to make sure to increase my marker size. So right now it's none. Go to built-in, the circle marker. I'm going to put this up to 10 points. Edit it, the fill color to blue. Edit the solid line color to white. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for 2020. Double click to isolate. Go over to marker, built-in, circle, up to 10. Edit the fill color, edit the line color, white. And then my final data point here, all the same steps, up to 10, solid fill, blue, solid line fill, white. It's already there. Perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add my data labels here. Now this looks a little bit different than the chart that I made in the PowerPoint, but that's okay. You can use these same principles to do any types of edits that you like for your chart. Now this data point I'm going to add here, add data label. I'm actually going to put this over to the left. It's because I think it's going to look better on my chart. And I'm going to edit this to 12. Make sure it's blue. Now here's where we're going to run into a little trick, because the plot area of the chart, I want this label to be over to the right where it's defaulted, but the plot area is too small. So go ahead and click in the center of the chart, and you can see the plot area will highlight here. You can take the little dragger right here on the right and just drag it in. Your chart area, the whole chart border stays the same, but your plot area is edited here. And this is where we're going to put some of our annotation boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this again up to 12. All right, this chart is looking good already. You could put in your descriptive title and it would look great as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and add some of those annotation boxes. So right here was our highest attendance year. When I add an annotation box, all you need to do is insert a text box. And I want to make sure that the chart is not selected when I do this, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Go to the Insert tab on the ribbon, and then go over to Text Box. Draw the text box in the chart there. I'm going to make sure that we have no fill and no border here. And I'm just going to type a different annotation. This was 2019. 2019 was our highest attendance year ever, because a generous donor offered free attendance to the community. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that all of that text can be seen. We're going to edit it there. I'm going to make this also the same, go up to 12. Maybe I want to right align this text so that it aligns nicely with my data label there. And that's really all you need to do. And actually, I might fill in this text box with white, because I don't like this grid line to be sort of showing through the back. So highlight the text box over here in the Format Shape menu, click on Solid Fill, and then go to white. Then you got to adjust the positioning just a little bit, because you see that that white background can cover over your data label there. So we'll do that. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this text box. I'm going to paste this text box And then I'm going to update the text here. Let's actually left align this one. So it's 2021. Attendance increase by 31% from the previous year. We're back on track. I'm just going to do it like, have that little statement there. I want to make sure that this will be part of the chart area. Oops. Let's do like this, and actually let's put this down here. So that's nice there. I'll adjust the size of the box there. That looks good. I'm going to copy this one more time. Copy and paste. So I can have another annotation box here for my 2020 data. I'm going to right align this one. And I'm going to say 2020. We closed. Oh, let's see. COVID-19 caused museum to close, and we had attendance restrictions. And you're going to want to just adjust the size so that everything looks nice and aligned that way. So those are some really pretty annotation boxes. Now, I said I wanted to make sure that you weren't highlighting the chart when you were inserting the text box, because if you did that, there might be a time when you want to do that, but if you highlight the chart and then insert the text box inside the chart, it'll become part of the chart and it will move with the chart. And that's good in a sense, but it's not that good if you want to move the text boxes around. You can't nudge them like you normally do, you know, push the arrow key over to the left or to the right. So what I prefer to do in this case is just make sure that my text boxes are in the exact right positions. They're not part of the chart just yet. And then what you can do eventually is make them all one by highlighting the chart, pushing down Shift, highlighting each of your text boxes, make sure everything is highlighted, then you right-click, and then you group the objects together. So everything is grouped. And now if you wanted to do this, you could actually right-click Copy, and you could paste it in as an image if you wanted to. And now there's a new image, a perfect chart that you could put into a report or a slide. You can't edit the chart though now because it's an image. So before you do this, you have to make sure you have all of your edits made in this final chart. Alright, so this was video 3 of the series. In my next video, we are going to show you how to add that built-in benchmark line or built-in average line. And let's go back to the chart. So this built-in average line here that shows the average attendance has been 2 million over the last 2 years, and this is actually part of the chart. So you can see it's actually a combination chart. There's a line chart, and then this is a bar chart here, a column chart, and I'm going to show you how to work with that in our next video. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and definitely hit the bell to subscribe to my channel. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications each time I publish a new video on data design tips, data viz tips in Excel, PowerPoint, and some other softwares that are kind of fun. So enjoy this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.